Listen, earnings season is like Christmas for traders if you know how to play it right. Now, before I get into it, one thing I want to talk about is a lot of people, when we talk about trading, swing trading and trading these higher quality stocks in earnings season, a lot of people have this kind of misconception that earnings season is just a small part of the year. That is not right, okay? Earnings season is roughly 6 weeks long, and it's 4 times a year. So if you think about that, almost roughly half the year is in earnings season. So this whole video is about, trading catalysts around earnings and capitalizing on this. Don't think that I talk to people and they're like, oh, that's only 4 times a year, like it's 4 days a year or something. I mean, we're talking basically 24 weeks a year. We're within earnings season, okay? And understand we do swing trade outside of earnings season, but as I mentioned, and it being Christmas for traders, the most explosive moves in the higher price stocks and the best swing trades are in that window. So I'm going to jump over and talk about Citibank, okay? So one of the reasons I want to focus on Citibank is a week ago today, I issued this as a earnings play in advance, okay? And the reason I did that for a lot of things, biggest reason is my AI called Iris AI recommended this trade to me. I actually took 9 months. It was very cool to teach this AI a defined strategy of looking at the earnings statements, looking at the SEC filings, looking at the financials of the company, analyzing the chart, because maybe you've heard me talk about this, maybe you haven't. The one drawback to swing trading is you got to do a fair amount of due diligence. Like I also day trade, love day trading penny stocks, done it for 20 years. The cool thing about day trading penny stocks, at the end of the day, just price, volume, chart patterns, okay? Price, volume, chart patterns. Like you can do your due diligence in seconds. When we're talking about holding stocks for days or weeks, you got to really dig into the company because we're holding them overnight at the end of the day. Last thing you want to do is overnight a money-losing company that then does a stock dilution that craters the stock while you're still in bed or something, okay? So you do have to look at the filings. You do have to look at the dilution risk. You do have to analyze the chart. You do have to look at the financials. But as I mentioned, AI can do it for you now. So we actually trained a large language model to do all of this for us. And a week ago, it identified Citibank to me because it recognized earnings were coming up and the chart was breaking out. Their fundamentals are good. We're also in kind of a hot sector for banking right now. Like as I'm recording this, all the banks released great earnings. We had the rate cuts last fall, the expectation of more rate cuts coming, and not to get too in-depth into banking and finance and that. I mean, lower rates means easier accessible to money. The more banks can loan, the lower the Fed is, the more likely they are to loan, which we know banks make money when they loan money, as long as everybody pays it back, right? I'm going to show you on my screen, back on January 7th, so basically a week ago today, I sent out this alert on C as a dip buy into earnings at $73 a share with a stop loss on 71 and a target of 80 plus. Now, one thing I do want to mention, even though I sent that alert, all of those levels, including the dip buy level, the precise point to buy that stock, the stop loss, as well as the profit target, were all done by the AI. Now, it might have my little picture next to it sending the alert, but I do that because in the Iris Analytics Swing Trade program, what I do to help people get their feet wet and learn how to trade these stocks is I actually ask the AI for the best stock of the week, and then we talk about it on a 6 p.m. strategy session. So that night, we broke this whole stock down. Even though the AI said it was a great trade, which is good, I like to kind of get into the details so that people understand why this is the number one. So we spent about a half hour breaking this trade down, went over all of the elements, and just about a day later, it hit the entry signal. And then let me jump back to the chart. You can see hit that 73 dip and then proceeded to move trend higher just a few days after that. And then we come into this week, Citibank released earnings. The AI basically interpreted that they were going to be strong earnings. And then you see this huge gap up. So you get that nice pullback for entry. You have a stop loss if the trade goes against you. And as of right now, this stock, well, it actually hit 79.25 the day of earnings, which was a few days after the trade, after we entered the trade. Remember, these are swing trades, take a little bit to develop, but the goal is 80 plus. So if you were happy with that trade, you know, you're looking at what, $6.50 a share, not bad, nice spike. But I think that this trade is just getting started, and you can kind of see that playing out in the chart. So I had that big rush post earnings, and then it's kind of going into consolidation mode, which for swing trading, that's actually bullish. So we like when stocks spike after the initial catalyst event and then start to consolidate and build a base. Because if you've used technicals in the past, you know when that happens, you know, stocks, especially, you know, real companies, as we like to say, they don't go straight up forever. They spike, consolidate, and re-break. Now, some of them break down. What I like about this stock is last 2 days, it's just held that level and really setting up for that second leg. So at this point, I've actually told the group that I work with on these Iris trades, I'm like, now that this thing's starting to base, I think we can move that goal up to even 100, because the longer it bases, the more likely it is to blow up to that next technical level, which would be right around $100 a share. So this trade, you know, depending on when you're watching this video, you can look up Citibank, okay? There's a good chance that it might take a week or two, but I think 100 is incoming for Citibank, and just a very low stress trade. One of the reasons it's so low stress is because the trade didn't even hit till a couple days after Iris alerted it to us. We could just wait for it to set up, wait for it to hit the entry. We got nice follow through, goes into consolidation. You just let it work. You know, like with day trades, you got to nail and bail. Like you got to be right in and right out, where these trades, much lower stress, just let them play out. Okay. Now, what's great about earnings season again is we see moves like this all the time. And one thing I do want to mention, like some of you maybe coming from day trading, you're like, $6 a share, whoop-de-doo. Keep in mind, these trades that Iris gives, 99.9% of them have options, okay? So if you think you can't trade a $70 stock because the price is too high, or you're not impressed by a $6 a share move, if you use options, you can trade puny position sizes, and the volatility of the options is way higher. So you're not talking small gains in a couple days, you're talking huge gains. Citibank, killer options trade. If you were prepared in advance, thanks to Iris, the options went bananas, okay? So in closing, my friends, earnings season, the odds are so much better, the moves are better, lower stress, and at the end of the day, if you use Iris, which I'll enclose a link below, it just does all that work for you. Reading SEC filings, reading financials, analyzing the chart. You don't have to do any of that because you embrace the power of AI. So that being said, I know a lot of people have crazy stories around earnings. What's the best earnings related trade you have? Give me your story below. I'd love to know the ticker, how it worked out for you, how it played out. Love these earnings plays, and the best way to trade them is by using Iris, my swing trading AI. Hit that link, check it out.